Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Great Awakening Generator with me, Rose McNair. And today we have Michelle Goddard from Harmonic Egg NZ. Welcome, Michelle.
Welcome. Thank you, Rose, for having me. First time client, first time being on a podcast. So I'm super excited that you
Oh,
chose me to speak about the egg today. So that's really cool.
oh, wonderful. I'm so glad that you are so available to do that. You were so willing to do that. As you know, Sarah Ariana and I talked about the harmonic egg on the 2nd of January. And we did some light language, and we had Galen, the creator of the harmonic egg, tuning in with us. And it was so exciting. And I had the privilege of having a session with you just before Christmas. So it was actually all falling into place because I had the session, and then it was easier to be able to understand what Sarah was talking about. And then it prompted me to go and find whether we had one in New Zealand. And then, of course, I discovered actually we have your one in Wokmatar that's the only one in Australasia. So
Yeah.
I was pleased for that, really pleased. Michelle, so we're going to go straight into it. What is the harmonic egg?
The harmonic egg is a sound and light frequency chamber that has been structured with sacred geometry.
Okay.
So you sit inside the egg, and the myself, being the egg guardian, I program the coloured lights and the choice of music that will give you the frequency that your body requires to make the adjustments that it needs to make to heal.
Okay. Okay. Now I see something behind you.
Yes, that's my egg. Rather
I
large.
I love it. It's rather large. And so it's a new healing technology. Is that right to assume that it's a new healing technology that's come about?
It's new for this time, but it definitely has been used in other dimensions at another time and place.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Gail Lynn birthed it, so to speak. She did start off with the technology of the light box,
Yes.
which was using sound and light. And then she took it to a new level intuitively and made the choices around the sacred geometry and how it had to be incorporate the Nikola Tesla 369
Yeah.
geometry, the encase being encased in the egg, so you're getting a 360-degree healing.
Yes.
And it's your energy, you're working with your energy in the egg. No one else's energy is coming in to interfere with that. So yeah, it took a number of years, and she was very specific about how it needed to be and the changes that needed to happen to bring it to us.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I've been hearing all about the fascination of this. I'm fascinated with it, to be honest. And I think, speaking of fascination, so please tell us, how did you come to it?
There's a short version and there's a long version. So the sort of I'll skip through the long version just to give you a bit of background, because I was thinking about it the other day, and when I've looked back on my life, it's literally brought me to this point.
Okay. So you were being
So
prepared for this time.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. From my yearning to want to know more about natural medicine, where I went off and completed a degree and a diploma in herbal medicine. I then opened a clinic. I realized that people were coming into my clinic that they had emotional blocks, and it didn't matter what was chucked at them, herbal wise, supplement wise, whatever, anything else they tried, they weren't going to move forward from that. So then I went off and learnt an energy healing technique called EMF
Yes.
and emotional healing technology. And from there, I started to open myself up and develop my own skills and abilities. And I did belong to a spiritual gathering group that I went for about 6 years. And when you're collectively together with other people and you're working on the same thing, it really does open you up rather than working on yourself individually. So from there, the bigger portion of my clinic was the healing, and I was doing absent healings for people as well. Then it started to feel really archaic for
Okay.
me personally. And I'm like, I'm not really feeling this anymore. Like, I really don't want to be working in this way.
Yeah.
So I literally shut it all down, shut my clinic down, shut it all down. And I went off and got a day job working for a natural health company as a sales rep. One night I was sleeping in my bed. We had a holiday section here in Whangamata, and it just had a caravan on it. And we holidayed here, during Christmas and things. And my parents retired down here. I went to bed one night and literally was downloaded into. I
Okay.
was told I needed to move to Whangamata, and I woke up in the morning and it was such a no-brainer. It was such a no, and I didn't even question it.
Okay.
I said to my husband, we need to move there. And he's like, what? You never wanted to move there, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, wheels in motion. We built a house. We moved here. I still had my paid job repping. I managed to do this particular area where I live now. And I thought, I really want to work with people again. So I tried to step out in the same model that I had left behind. Blocked, door shut, not happening. Then I happened to be watching Gaia TV, and Regina Meredith, who was one of my favorite interviewees, was interviewing Gail Lynn around the Harmonic Egg. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been waiting for. That's exactly how I want to work with people.
Right.
So from there, it was wheels in motion. COVID happened, lots of dramas along the way. It didn't faze me. And the egg arrived, no problem at all. And
Okay.
that's basically the short version of the long version.
I would love for you to share with us your experience with your guide, because I remember this story. It's obviously a real story because you were telling me this when you and I spoke about your, and I'm saying your guide, and because I would like you to say more about your guide that works with you with the harmonic egg. And I think that was such a beautiful, beautiful situation that you realize how you change your processes that you were doing daily, and then you had this happen to you. So please tell us about that.
Sure. Well, part of the breaking down and the shutting off and the rebuilding from scratch when I came here included my meditation practices. I was an avid meditator. I could drop into the space really quickly. I couldn't even do that anymore. And I was
Okay.
thinking, oh my gosh, I've lost my mojo. Nothing's working for me. So we have a beautiful beach here. I have a dog. So every morning, first light, I was out walking the beach, and I was starting to speak out loud as a meditation, speaking to my guides. And that's basically became my new practice. When I knew the harmonic egg was on its way on a container ship for like 4 months, I
Okay.
started connecting into the egg, and I'm just like, oh, can you tell me a little bit about you? I'm going to sound a little crazy here, but this was my experience. And a voice came into my head, literally like I was talking to a human being. And he goes, I'm on the ship, everything's fine. And I said, oh, so you're a male? Because a lot of the eggs, every egg guardian has had their own experience. A lot of the eggs have been female up until this point. So I had a male energy egg. And I will land. Even gave me the date that it was going to land, and it was an unknown for
Wow.
me. I know. And then as I'm walking along and I'm asking questions, walking along the water's edge, and I foolishly asked him, like, are you a human? And he goes, no. He said, you and I have worked together with this technology in another lifetime, in another realm. I am not off the egg, but I work through the egg. So you and I are back together working in partnership with this technology.
Wow.
And when I relayed this to Gail, because I hadn't even received my egg yet, and I relayed this to Gail, and I text her and I'm like, am I crazy? And she goes, no, every egg guardian has had their own personal story. The egg has even told them their names. So when I asked my egg his name, and I got a visual of like a wizard type looking person. And he said, my name is Sebastian, but I like to be known as Seb. So I'm like, so that's the name of my egg. And every egg guardian has been gifted the name of their egg, and it's come to them in unique ways.
Okay. Wow. That's
Yeah.
so amazing. It's so amazing. So it feels like this is an egg, with the harmonic egg. You have to be intuitively connected to it. It's not something you just say, well, oh, this can bring me money. I'll just take this thing and I'll sell it like I do. And it's, and I use the third dimensional business model for it. It's not something you can do like a third dimensional business model. It's not a sale. It is it's like everything um that's changing our way of working. Now you have this harmonic egg, you've got your guardian, you're the guardian, you've got your energy that you work with, and it's got a name, and you've already worked with it. So do you think all the guardians have worked with the energy of their egg before?
100%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I had a
Yeah.
question. I had a new client reach out, and she did ask me a question.
Mm.
How do you know if you're a guardian?
Yes.
And it was just recently. And I said, it's such a knowing when you see the technology that you
Okay.
can't walk away from it. I mean, I
Yes.
didn't have the money up front to pay for it.
Yeah.
It was almost like a lot of the barriers that you conceptually think of starting a business just disappeared into the ethers.
Yeah.
And it just became, this is the step, this is the next step, this is the next step. And
Yeah.
that's what I focused on. And the money came.
Good. I'm really glad you said that, because I think that is it. Because it's not a thing of, oh, that looks attractive, I'll try that. It's a thing of what is speaking to you, what's within you that's calling to it, how connected you feel to it, right? And
Yeah,
it's not that all of you are being called guardians. So it's not a thing like anyone and everyone can do. It's a thing that is going to resonate with those people that actually feel the connection to it,
100%.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And so how does it, when you got your egg, how did you feel? Like, do you feel like do you feel like, oh, I already know you, we've already connected? Did your energy continue? Did Seb continue to connect with you whilst the egg was still on the ship?
Yeah. The first time I sat my egg once it was put together,
Mm.
which Daryl, the installer, flew out from America. He was here for 3 days and flew home to
Wow.
install it. The first time I sat in it, I literally bawled my eyes out.
Okay.
It was such a, oh, like just thinking about it now, it just sort of gets me a little bit choked up.
Mm.
Um, it was just like coming home.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Wow.
beautiful experience. And I was telling my business partner, Eve, who's actually manufacturing them down in the South Island. And I was saying to her, oh, this was a few months ago. And I was talking, not myself, I was talking spiritual language, if you like, to Sebastian. He goes, can you just please talk normally? Like, like you don't
Yeah.
have to like speak in a certain way for me to understand what you're saying. Just speak how you normally speak. I'm like, oh, yeah, right, got it. Okay.
They just want us to be ourselves, nothing different.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
He's obviously been with you even in, how do I say this? I know that you said he's been with you in another realm and working with you in another realm, but obviously being in your consciousness somewhere, just waiting to come to the forefront when the time is right. Do you think I said that right? Do you think?
Yeah, it is. And I believe everybody that's on this planet at this time is here for a reason.
Yes.
I just know this is my reason. As I sort of said to you earlier, everything, when I look back on every stage of my life, it's brought me to this place. So all the tools that I have on my tool belt, all the things that I've learned, natural medicine and healing and spirituality and manifesting and all of
Mm,
those things have literally brought me to this place. So then I can effectively work with the people that step into my clinic room because I
great.
can share that wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who can benefit from this?
Virtually anyone that's a human being or pets as
Yeah.
well. Oh, I
Yeah.
have
Oh,
amazing results with pets.
okay.
Um, Anybody can work with it in terms of healing themselves.
Okay.
What I want to make clear is it doesn't mean that you have to pick either or if you're going down the medical route of needing treatment.
Yes.
You can still do sessions with the egg, which my experience of working with clients that have done this, it almost like fast tracks their healing.
Okay.
So if someone's doing chemotherapy, I can do the session after the chemotherapy to support the liver detoxing effectively and all those other things that go with, you
Yeah.
know, the body being compromised by certain drugs.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, because when we talk about this and we talk about this healing, we're never encouraging anybody to um, stop doing what the medical professionals whatever medical process they're going through. We're not saying leave that and this is better or anything like that. We're saying this is actually going to support that. And I can see how somebody who is having chemotherapy can be supported in a good way with this post a chemotherapy session, for example, because of how sick they can feel afterwards with all that detoxing that's going on. So yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you said that. Um, yeah, so anyone can benefit from it. So how do we do the sessions? Like, what would you recommend? If I came to you and I said, hey, I've got this situation. And obviously you will be looking at it in a case by case situation. You can't
Mm-hmm.
say everybody should have one session or everybody should have 5 sessions. So what would you say about that?
So it depends on what's going on with somebody. If it's been sort of a long-standing chronic thing that's been going on for a year or more, I would say anywhere from 6 to 10 sessions or 6 to 12
Okay.
sessions, because if it's more acute, like a flu, then 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But more long-standing issues, because what people forget is that we are in a physical body, and the physical body heals in a systematic way. It doesn't heal overnight. And what I found in my clinic is people will come for 1 or 2, they will have the symptomatic picture, they will feel better, but they haven't addressed the underlying cause of what created in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So my belief is everything starts with an emotional block. And from that emotional block, that sort of can get layered upon, and then it turns into a physical. And I look at the physical body as a hand waving at you, going, hello, over here, you need to like make some changes because
Yes.
it's working.
Yeah.
So just looking at the physical ailment, you might have results, but those results can be short-term lived. And then it will pop up somewhere else, or
Yeah.
the problem will reoccur. So it takes time to A, for the physical body to heal itself, and B, to start getting beneath the surface of why it was created in the first place,
Yeah.
and to address those emotional blocks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not a one-dimensional, and that's what quantum energy is. It's working with the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. It's not just a one-dimension focus within
Yeah.
every session.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, and that is the thing. Normally when I find if I have one session of something, then it helps me to clear that block maybe. And then the next thing I know is there might be something else that comes up from that clearing that I need to deal with, because it's important. Because I'm thinking about, stuff that if you go and see, for example, an Akashic reader, they might clear something and then there might be something else that comes up. So I'm assuming it's the same thing really, because you it's just that we go through things for years and years, and it requires time to actually or
It is.
more than
It's the
once.
onion layer. It definitely
Exactly.
is the onion layer.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so when the body's first starting to heal, it approaches the thing that's going on
Yeah.
first. And as you clear that or heal that, then it goes into something else. And then so you get down to the bottom layer of where it all
Yeah.
began.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
this is thank you for expressing it like that, because that's just the easiest way to express it. And I just feel um, right now, those of us that are going through, well, all of us are living on the planet, we're all going through things. It's so wonderful to have something like this. It is also so good that we recognize that some things are not going to be fixed in one, overnight, and that's it, because we've been going through things for years. So that's really good. So, Michelle, tell us where you can be contacted if anyone
So
wanted
I
to
have a
contact you.
website,
Mm-hmm.
harmoniceggNZ.com. You can also find me on Facebook at the same address, Harmonic Egg NZ, and also on Instagram, Harmonic Egg NZ. I
Wonderful.
do have a blog page on my website that I think I've written some informative blogs that people can use that as a tool to at least start the process
Yeah.
of healing themselves. So I would encourage anyone that might be interested just to check out the blog page as well. And yeah, so that's basically all the places where you can find me easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And I'll put it in the description box and possibly on the thumbnail too. So now we come to the point of you get to tell me anything else I didn't ask you. Tell me anything else you want to tell me that I didn't ask you about. So
Sure.
please.
Well, I want to talk about pets because I have a dog. He's a Doberman. He's called Johnny, and he has been on a few of my posts. And what I find with animals is that they heal really quickly. My
Okay.
business partner Eve had a rescue horse or a rescue pony who was arthritic, and as winter came, standing around in the wet paddocks was really uncomfortable. So she sent me a photo. So the remote sessions, I require a photo. And with every session, there is a client form that the client fills out. So I have the full picture of what is actually going on with them. And then that assists me to formulate the sessions appropriately for what they are needing within every
Okay.
session. So she sent me a photo of the pony and we put it in, and literally the pony laid down for the whole day while the session was going on. The session is 50 minutes, lay down for the rest of the day. They got up in the morning to feed out and it came trotting over like there was nothing wrong.
Oh,
And it never experienced the arthritic symptoms again. My
wow.
dog Johnny, he just recently he herniated a disc in his neck, playing on the beach with another dog. Extreme pain. It was really scary to see him in so much pain. Straight away, I did a session for him in the egg. I did a reducing inflammation session. Took him to the vet the following day because I knew he needed medicating, he needed pain meds. Got him onto the pain meds, did another session about 5 days later because the sessions need to be spread apart. So minimum 5 to 6 days, well, minimum 6 days up to 7 days, because
Yeah.
that healing is still on board
Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
person, that animal. It doesn't stop as soon as you come out of the session. That is a continuous thing that is happening for that time frame.
Right.
So that's why the sessions are structured a minimum a week apart. So I did another session for him 5 days later, and I started dropping his pain meds down. And I knew that they were upsetting his tummy a little bit. So I dropped off one pain med and just left one, which you get, it's an anti-inflammatory, which you give him once a day. Anyway, long story short, a 3 to 4 week recovery, he recovered in 8 days.
Wow.
I was blown away. And we had my
Yeah.
son's dog staying here at the time. So I sort of had to keep them separated so they wouldn't play and he wouldn't aggravate the neck.
Yeah.
But there's been no signs of it. Back to full playing, no signs of it being re-injured.
Wonderful.
That's just one story. I've had like 4 different sessions with Johnny, and it's only taken one session for more sort of superficial things that have gone on.
Okay.
So if you're an animal lover, please, these sessions work really well for your animals, so don't discount that.
Mm.
Also, clearing of land. So if when you buy a new house, you're walking into a house with somebody else's energy imprinted all over it. It could have been a marriage breakup, so you're walking into all this disharmony, energy potentially that then can start affecting you. So if you're super sensitive or you're an empath or super sensitive to energies, then that would be a good thing to do as well, and clearing the land. And one thing I will say about clearing the land, I was listening to every second Friday, we have a guardian call with Gail. And today I listened to the replay. And she had a lady on who's a shaman who's going around all the different egg centers in America in a house bus. So she'd been to 3 or 4, and what she's doing is she's connecting in with the different eggs. And I already knew this, but it was like confirmation from somebody that had no idea. What she relayed is the eggs are tapping into the crystalline grid of the places where they reside.
Wow.
So they are going to the different lands, different places to heal that land. And what it's doing, like my egg here, for example, is affecting my town in
Yes.
a positive way. My egg wanted to be by the water. I live overlooking the harbour. So my egg has a window view of the harbour. And so what she was saying was, as these eggs come onto different parts of the land and the place that they're going to is being healed.
Wonderful. That is just awesome. It's it's very important when I think about properties being having the energies of the old owners, the even the land, what was it used for in ancient times, because that can come through and that can actually affect us even in this day and age, and so, and you can have many people living in that house, going through the house, and whatever befalls them, they never stop and think about, oh, there's something up with the house. They just think it's life and tragedy and whatever happening. But when you get somebody who comes in who's an empath or hypersensitive, then you start to feel and have those experiences, and then you think, oh, something's not quite right here. My house has asked me for a clearing, asked me to do it, and I've started the process. My house actually asked me, because sitting in my chair doing meditation one of the days, and it said to me, "You're always saying how I'm not great. Can you make sure that I am?"
Yeah.
So this is something we must never underestimate, that there are things going on in the building we live in or on the land, the building
we're energetic beings. Yeah, we're energetic beings, and energy gets imprinted into the walls and the carpet and things. And you're coming in, and you're subjected to that energy that's left there.
That's right.
So, and one other thing that this woman said as well. Sorry, I've forgotten her name. She said that the eggs act like megalithic sites, like stone circles, things like that. So they're bringing that type of healing to the place, which is really cool, because it's not just here in my house and I'm working with people. It's serving my community. It's serving the
Yes, exactly. I mean, we can't have this energy that is so vast just staying in this contained space. I mean, that doesn't make sense. And therefore, it's great that it's not just about what's happening inside there for clients, for yourself, in your home, but it's going beyond that, beyond the parameters of just your property. So that's really good. So, Michelle, anything else you want to say before we say goodbye to you?
I think, well, I would definitely love to come back, and
Please
as more
do.
information comes to light, and as people have more questions, we can sort of address those more specifically, because I think we're at a time now, we're in a new energy, we're in a new year, new planetary alignments. I think there's going to be a lot more people resonating with alternative technologies that are going to serve them, and more questions are going to come up.
Yes.
So I'm happy to come back and work with your audience for sure.
Absolutely love it, and thank you for that, because you're always welcome back. I have a few another idea that I will put to you when we stop recording. It just depends on whether you come to Auckland at any time in the months coming, because you can come and talk on radio. So that was the idea. And so, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's wonderful that we can talk about this. And I like your willingness for us to be communicating like this. We want to put it out there as much as possible, because we want the word to get out there.
I just want people to have the awareness that it's
exactly
that's where it needs to be at the moment. And then people have a personal choice by looking at the website. Does it resonate? Does it not resonate? That's perfectly fine. But it's just having the awareness that there is alternatives out there that that they can work with.
I think, like for me, the harmonic egg, I got a message from a friend in England, probably about 3 weeks before Christmas. I opened it and I didn't have time to find out more about what that was. And then when I spoke to Sarah, she talked about it, and then she showed me the picture, and I thought, oh, Louise had sent that to me. And then I knew inadvertently this was something that I had to do, because my guides were bringing it to me in various ways. And then I heard a lady commented on the channel, and she said she had also been, this came to her, and she thought, oh no, we don't have one. Then she watched the interview, and then she knew she could do it online, and then she was wondering about that and all of that. And when she watched the interview and heard my thoughts on it, she thought, hey, this is going to be great. I can do that if,
Nice.
because someone has now said about the online experience and that it was really wonderful. So
And I'm so glad that you said that, Rose, because a lot of people think, oh, if I'm not physically there, it's going to be like a watered down version. It's absolutely not. It's your energy in the egg with your photo, with your name, with your date of birth. It's quantum healing.
yeah,
So it does, it works perfectly just as well as being here, in the physical. There's no difference of what you're going to receive.
yeah,
So if there's anybody out there that can't travel, a remote session is absolutely the best option for you to do. And you
yeah,
had that option and that worked for you.
yeah.
Another thing that I'd like to say, if there's any potential egg guardians out there,
Yes.
that are feeling or resonating with the harmonic egg, you can contact me directly or through my website to discuss the ins and outs of it all. And we are manufacturing here in New Zealand now, which is so cool because the price of bringing it out from America with the exchange rate and the shipping is just ludicrous. I
Yeah.
mean, so I picked up the mantle. I got a business partner, and it morphed into manufacturing here. So the cost is in New Zealand dollars. So it's way more affordable,
Yeah.
which is going to help a lot of people if they're looking for a new business model where if it flows and they become an egg guardian, they were meant to become an egg guardian.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if anyone's doing an inquiry about it and they feel in tune with it, it's you are the way shower in New Zealand, right? And you would have gone through all of the things that anybody who's trying something new that's never been here before and all of that you would have gone through. So you know what can happen, what can't happen. And isn't it wonderful now that is being built here in New Zealand? So it's not having to bring it over from overseas and pay those exchange rates. So it's really wonderful that you said that. And I'm glad that you put the call out for other egg guardians.
We need more, and particularly in Australia as well. I mean, that country needs a lot of healing just as much as New Zealand does. I mean, they've
Absolutely.
suffered greatly over there through
Yeah.
the last 2 to 3 years, and I'm sure the land is calling for healing. So, if you know anybody or you're interested yourself, just reach out and I can help you out for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Michelle. Everybody, Michelle is from Harmonic Egg NZ. And go and check it out at Harmonic NZ. I beg your pardon. You say it, Michelle.
harmoniceggnz.com.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time here on the Great Awakening Generator. Bye
Thank
bye,
you, Rose.
everyone. You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye
Bye.
bye.